give over the stage to Toastmaster Azhar Naveed Hadi with a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mohammad Asif. Apurva, if you can give me the sharing rights, I'll share the screen. Okay. So very good evening, already an evening. So very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and new guests, as well as the past district people. Like we have the district past logistics manager, Toastmaster Rohan. We have our beloved area director Apurva, and the host for the day, host and my dost, Mohammad Asif. So very good evening, everyone. Today I am over here with a very close to heart topic, which I have always been a very big follower of, which will be speaking about mentoring and understanding the relationship between a mentor and a mentee. So what I did was to add on my exclusive flavor to this particular presentation. I have summarized this entire keynote speech into some moments. Okay, so we will discover some moments as we go on throughout this presentation, and then we will try to understand how a relationship between a mentor and a mentee is established. It was 2016 when I entered into Infosys and I joined Infosys Toastmasters Mysore. And during that time, I was a very outstanding guy. Like I have been an outstanding guy in my engineering because more than my sessions, I used to do extra curriculum. And whenever I was found inside the classroom, my teachers used to celebrate it by making all the other students, my friends, clap for me that today Azar is present in the class. Now, having a nature of that kind, wherein I have always been into extra curriculum, I thought I was the best person in the world. Because the very first thing that happens when you start with extra curriculum is you become egoistic. Every artist has ego, right? And that ego has to be nurtured somehow because it makes that artist a unique one, right? But I had this bubble of ego always around me, and I thought I was the best in the world. Hardly did I realize that once I entered into Infosys, this bubble of my ego was going to burst into a lot of splatters here and there. When I entered into Infosys, I realized that in Infosys, this is what the parking looks like, right? And this is just one of the floors of the parking that we have in Infosys. It's a multi-level parking space, which has 7 such floors, right? And these many number of people are parking their bikes on a daily basis. Somehow, in the entire campus, there is this one part, which is my cabin, that is L283. And very soon that became my identity. All I was known for was as an educator. I joined the corporate training field of Infosys as a part of education, training and assessment. And there I was allocated this one cabin, which became very soon my identity. And then I thought that in a campus where these many bikes come and go on a single day, and these are just bikes, there is one level for helicopters to land. There are levels, different levels for the cars to be parked. Where am I? Am I just this one particular cabin in the entire campus? That was the big question. Now, I would like to see Zoom reactions to people who might have felt the same thing when they went into TVS company. If you have felt a similar feeling, just put a thumbs up in the Zoom reaction. Even VVC students, when you might have just joined the college, you might have felt the same thing, right? I also started feeling the same, and that is when Infosys Toastmasters Mysore happened. Today, when Manoj has already promised us so many things that are supposed to be done, it is very, very important that you get a positive and a supportive environment to implement such initiatives. And it is utterly impossible to just get a branding and carry on initiatives. There has to be a group of people and a huge support behind you to do such noble things in an organization where we belong. Very soon, my journey started where I met these 3 mentors of my life. Now, before I start expressing about these 3 mentors of mine, I would like to know in a single word, just a single word in the chat box, if you were to call your mentor as one word, like a friend or maybe a companion, what is one word you would describe your mentor to be? What do you expect from your mentor? Just put it in the chat window. Okay. He should be a superstar. There has to be motivation that comes from it, right? He should be a guide who knows the way, goes the way, and then shows the way, right? And then he should be a role model. Exactly. That was exactly what I was looking for. Now, if I, okay, he should be the fire brigade. Yes, I have a Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma fan in the room, I think. Yeah, he should be a fire brigade. Whenever our, initiatives are on fire, there has to be a fire brigade who comes and helps us survive through that fire. Definitely, that should be there. And then I was also searching for one such person. Now, I want you to also respond one more thing. That is, who do you think will make a better mentor? A person of your own age, a person who is elder than you, or a person who is younger than you? Yes, Sadhguru Swami sir says that he should walk the talk. Definitely. Who do you think will make a better mentor? A person who's more experienced, a person who's elder to you, or someone who is younger to you, or someone of your same age? Very good. We often try to search for people who have more experience and who are elder, right? But as you can see, we already have a Gen Z, a Generation Z in the room, as well as we, the people of TVS Toastmasters. There's a big age gap, right? There's a big difference in the opinions. You can see it right away in the chat windows, right? Neha, right now she's saying there's no age barrier. He could be even my younger brother, right? He could be anyone in my family. So this kind of difference even I felt. I also was of the opinion that the person should be of more experience, the person should be elder than me. In that case, what I thought was, instead of having a single mentor, why not have multiple mentors? And that was the one breakthrough moment for me, because having a single mentor is nowhere a rule in Toastmasters. Having a mentor is definitely a rule, and that has to be done either officially by the club officers. I'm so sorry for the noise, some construction work is going on, I think. Either you have to be officially assigned a mentor by the VP education or the club officers, the president, or you yourself can choose a mentor, right? So I thought, if they give me an opportunity to choose, why not choose in all forms? So I went for three different mentors. I went for distinguished Toastmaster Anirban. Okay, and by the tagline itself, he has completed all of the curriculum that Toastmasters has to offer. Okay, and that is where I learned discipline and professionalism, right? How many of you think that discipline is a must if you want to excel in whatever you're doing? There has to be a discipline. Yes. In the very similar way, I also found out, as he was elder to me and he had more experience, we were not in constant touch with each other. That is when I had this one crazy roommate of mine, and we both joined Toastmasters together. That is this dynamic Toastmaster, Gagan Jolly. Now, this guy and me joined Toastmasters at the same platform, at the very same starting point. But today, he sits in Mohali, I sit in Mysore, and the levels that we are crossing and the competition that we are having amongst ourselves is also one of the very key point that I consider as my mentor. I learned dynamism, which means how to be as dynamic as possible, and also how to brand yourself up. Now, experienced people like Anirban had many people who used to brand him, who used to create posters of him. We, in fact, as a club, created a magazine in his name, right? He already had a rapport. But then this guy, Toastmaster Gagan Jolly, had nothing. He had a crazy friend like me, and he had some crazy ideas in his mind. But then using those things and starting with me, he made sure that he branded himself from scratch. Right? That is exactly what I learned from Toastmaster Gagan Jolly. And finally, I had this one different Toastmaster, Swagat. So these are three DTMs of my life. One is a distinguished Toastmaster, one is dynamic Toastmaster, and one is this different Toastmaster, Swagat. Now, Toastmaster Swagat has always taught me how to be different. He has always helped me understand how I can dare to be different. And he always had this one opinion whatever you do and however much time you spend, you have to be elegant and you have to gain operational excellence. How many of you guys are from manufacturing, right? You might have already heard of this one word called as operational excellence, right? And this particular thing was taught to me by Toastmaster Swagat. So what I did was compiling all of this into one thing. I call it as moments. So let us discover the moments in this relationship of being a mentee, that is me, and these mentors that were guiding me throughout my journey. First of all, I want to ask you a question. How many of you have already selected or already have assigned with a mentor? How many of you have a mentor? If you have a mentor, put the name of your mentor. And if you still do not have a mentor allocated or you haven't chosen anyone, you can frankly say, no, I don't have a mentor. Please put your responses in the chat box. I'm just trying to understand the temperature of the room and get to know. Okay, Manish has not gotten. Okay, Raghu has not gotten. Surat sir, Manoj sir has got it. That is Ashwat. Okay, Revant not yet. Okay, okay. Apurva has Sagnik. Yes, it's been a long time mentor-mentee relationship between them. Neha has Sandeepa and Hasib has Sagnik. Well done. Perfect. Okay, so within TVS Toastmasters, I can definitely see that you guys have just started off your journey, and this is the perfect point where you should go ahead and choose a mentor for yourself. Okay, I would definitely request Apurva, being the area director, that I want you to create a list of people who are eligible for mentoring and give that list to these people and let them discover us. Let it be through our Facebook, let it be through our YouTube channels, let it be through our speeches that have been accidentally recorded or shared anywhere. Let them go through all of those materials, okay, and also get a chance to meet us and talk to us, and then finally get to choose their mentors. However, while this choice is being made, I want you to realize that there are these moments, which is moments, that you have to take care of. Okay, there are a lot of things that can be served on a silver platter for you, but then I believe in Toastmasters, if you are waiting for someone to serve that silver platter, you're going to lose a lot of opportunities. However, if you decide to basically make that entire platter for yourself, you will be astonished by the way you learn and exponentially how much you can grow. So starting off, first thing that each and every member of TVS Toastmasters, I want you to do is metamorphize, right? You might have heard of the word metamorphosis. Can anyone give me one example? Just unmute yourself and give me one example of metamorphosis. Have you heard of this word, anyone? You can unmute yourself and answer as well. Not yet? Okay. Basically, metamorphosis means, the story of a cocoon becoming a butterfly, right? Previously, a larva gets converted into a cocoon, and then once inside this cocoon, when a butterfly is developed, that butterfly gets wings and then it is able to fly. Have you heard of this process, right? So the
Yes.
development of a larva into a cocoon and then into a butterfly. That is exactly what metamorphosis is. Basically, change your form from one form to another, right? And that too such that from a previous form to a better form of yourself. That is exactly what metamorphosis is. And how do we achieve this? All you need to do is take care of these 4 points. First you determine where you already are. Okay, I hope everyone has gone through the Pathways Base Camp, and you might have realized that there are 2 assessments with every project that you will deliver. One is as an assessment before the project, another is assessment after the project. I want you to strictly implement this in your life. Whatever you do within Toastmasters or outside Toastmasters, first things first, realize point A. And this point A, you need to determine where you already are. And once you have done that, I want you to fix point B. And this point B will be the place where you want to be, where you desire to be, which you want to achieve. Okay. And once you know this point A and point B, make sure that point B has to be a tougher place. Okay, it has to be a tougher contest, it has to be a tougher competition, it has to be a higher point. Okay, and once you have decided 2 points, can anyone tell me, using the basics of geometry that we have learned, what can exist between 2 points? There is a rule in geometry. Between 2 points, there can be
Line.
exactly one line,
Line.
not even exactly one line, right? And just imagine, once you are able to determine where you already are and where you want to be, it becomes very easy to draw that exact one line between those two dots. And now all you need to do is never lose focus and keep moving on that particular line from point A to point B. I hope I'm making sense, guys.
Superb, Azar.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Thank you. So that's the first M in the moments. Okay. Let us quickly go to the next part, which is going to be a very big challenge for you. You're going to see a lot of people in Toastmasters, and each one of them has a different skill for themselves. You will also see there are a lot of Toastmasters who have the same set of skills. And often, when you have a lot of options in your menu, rava dosa, masala dosa, java masala dosa, this dosa, that dosa, idli, vada, everything, what happens to us? We get confused what to eat. We get confused what to keep with us, right? And in Toastmasters also, it might get a bit challenging to be original, because we see a lot of inspirational speakers and then we try to imitate them. Don't do that. Okay, when you become a mentee, and whoever, or if later you become mentors, I want you to take care of one thing: be original. And how will you be original? You have to be natural. Don't fake things. There is a lot of scope in Toastmasters to fake a lot of things, let me tell you. But then don't do that. Okay, be natural, be unique. And how will you be unique? Whatever speech it is, have a personal anecdote to yourself, have your own story to that speech. Relevant or irrelevant, let the audience decide, let the evaluators decide. But from your side, I want you to do one thing: use your own stories. And lastly, explore those long view qualities. I know many of you might have given up music, many of you might have given up sports, many of you might have given up yoga, many of you might have taken new skills and given up some skills that were very close to your heart. Let me remind you, if you go back to those skills that you gave up on, you will explore a lot of things, and you will actually explore your own originality. Okay, so please maintain your originality even when you have your mentor. And if you think that the mentor keeps saying, no, don't do this, don't do that, have another set of mentor, have another mentor as a backup who can support your originality. Okay, so you have to maintain your originality. Quickly moving on to the next thing. Before I move on, I want you to always remind yourself, what do you want to achieve? Why did you pay that $20 membership fee, that lifetime membership fee? You have to keep questioning yourself, and you have to keep reminding yourself, I'm investing money, I'm investing time into this. Now I need to get returns. What do we do in share market? When we are putting money, we need return on investment. Here also, if you have paid those $20 membership, that is a lifetime fee, as well as your club fee on top of it, right? Make sure that there's a solid return on investment, whatever you're doing. And while this becomes a challenge, we will move on to the next part. That is the rest of the word of moments, the next M, which is mastering a skill. And as a Toastmaster, I personally believe you should master 3 skills mandatorily. There should be one skill that you perfect, you expertise in when it comes to building content. How do you make a story? How do you make it beautiful? How do you express it? How do you keep it relevant to your audience? That is one skill I want you to master. Second is master one delivery skill. Let it be using quotations in the end. Let it be using poetry in your speeches. Let it be using songs in your speeches. Let it be drama. Let it be theatrics. Let it be any one thing that you need, that you want to master while delivering any speech. I want you to master that one delivery skill. And lastly, I want you to master one technological skill. Now, as very well mentioned by Manoj as well as our previous president, that it has become a big challenge in today's world to cope up with COVID and the other things. But then we are leveraging so many platforms. right? And all of these platforms have one thing in common: you have to know technology. You have to understand how to mute, unmute, how to do breakout rooms, how to arrange things, how to kick someone out of the meeting, get someone into the meeting, how to have admitting rooms in Zoom, right? And how to get free platforms for running your meetings, how to manage that 40 minutes gap that happens when the meeting abruptly ends. How will you coordinate? So one technological skill you will have to master. And once you identify these three skills, I can guarantee you, you will develop a unique selling point for yourself. Which means if tomorrow I come and I ask who is Revant, I will know who is Revant by the three skills that he has practiced and perfected it. Okay, so I want you to focus upon mastering your skills, and your mentors will definitely help you do that. Okay, moving on. This is one thing I want to happen in your club. It's a brand new club with brand new energy. I want you all to experiment a lot of things. It will look a bit awkward in the starting to become a dramatical person, to give motivational big quotes. It will become a bit dramatic and bit, overwhelming for you. But I want you to experiment it. Okay, I want you to learn like you're a kid, you're a child, and I want you to experiment as much as you can. And when you want to experiment, it is very necessary that the environment has to be supportive. Okay, so create a very experimental environment where anyone has any idea, go implement it, no matter what outcome. Go and implement it. No matter what guidelines are already given by Toastmasters International. Talk to your area director, talk to your division director, create newer initiatives by tweaking around the standard protocols. It is possible. And lastly, give opportunities to beginners. If you have already taken up timer once, the next time try to make someone else the timer. And once the entire club is done being a timer, then you take up the timer role again. But create opportunities for the beginners. That is very important. Next is about timely catch-ups. This is going to be a bit difficult, but it is very necessary. I'll just put my laptop in charge. This is also going to be a difficult thing, how to stay in touch, right? So this is going to be a request again towards the people who are already mentoring you or who will mentor you, right? We will keep this in point that we are going to make your learning time bound. Okay, we are going to plan goals for you, and this one I need help from your side, from the mentees side. You should be planning the goals, telling your mentors that this is what I want to achieve, and then the mentor will help you understand, okay, how much time do you need to invest in this, and how speed can you go, how fast can you go, where do you need to slow down and learn a few more things, right? This is what the mentor will help you. But then the mentees must have smart goals. Okay, and it is your utter responsibility to stay in touch. No one gets disturbed, let me tell you. In Toastmasters, no one gets disturbed. I can guarantee that. Even if I'm in a very important meeting, and if I still get a call from Manoj asking me about something about Toastmasters, I will still steal 5 more minutes from my work and help a Toastmaster out. That's the perseverance we give when we join this community, and that's the dedication that we have. You guys stay in touch. Okay, even if your mentor doesn't call you, you call upfront, right? Give your scripts upfront, mail your scripts upfront, and if you're able to do that, let me tell you, it will be a very time bound process, and you will be able to learn gradually as well as consistently. And last thing is, in the moments, very important thing, you need to simplify this process. Pathways, projects, these many projects, levels, DCP points, club success plan, whatnot, area directors reports, moments of truth, open house meetings, so many things. How will you remember so many things? These things might look very complex to you, but if you reach out to the right people, to the right mentors, they will help you simplify this process. And once it is simplified, it will be very easy to first understand what's in it for you. Whatever you wanted to achieve, are you achieving it or not? That will be the first clarity you will get. Second clarity, choose a path. If you haven't chosen a path so far, you have to choose a path. And that is exactly where your learning will start as a Toastmaster. It will become a very good initiator and a very good guided start for your learning. So please choose a path as soon as possible. Get help with your mentors or area directors or division directors and get to know how to launch and explore the curriculum. And lastly, this will be done specifically by every mentor in area C4. We try to do this. We blend everything into areas of interest. It should be interesting. Simply coming on the stage and then making you blabber a few things is not going to help you. Neither is it is going to help us, right? However, if we can somehow fit in your area of interest into a good curriculum, that is a win-win situation. And Toastmasters is all about win-win situations. Okay, so these were the moments that I talked of. And I would like to conclude all of this by saying a very simple thing. In this confusing puzzle of our life, we are all misfits. There's a big mosaic puzzle in which each and every piece has to be fit properly, but we won't fit at some places. But the difference that Toastmasters makes is we are not busy pointing out those differences. Right? In Toastmasters, we are busy understanding those differences and creating the moments that I talked of. Okay, so the next time if you think that you are not amongst us, you're wrong. You are amongst us and you will always be amongst us. And whatever differences you have in your opinions, and let it be even about the 3 controversial topics, sex, religion, and politics, let it be anything. But then we will never point out the differences. Rather, we will try to understand those differences and create beautiful moments and beautiful memories with each one of you. So guys, don't confuse this mentor-mentee relationship with your personal relationships. It is going to be personal, but not that kind of personal. But definitely there will be a lot of beautiful memories associated as and when you progress with your mentor. So with that note, I wish each one of you all the very best. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share something that is so close to my heart. Thank you so much. Back to you, the Toastmasters of the day, Mohammed Hasib.